Hello everyone, and welcome to the what is it, 6 months or 6 weeks, sorry, of the drawing of this manga. Spoiler: I only completed the second panel in this week, so it took me 2 weeks to complete two panels, which is, or I mean, I guess 6 weeks, but like the first 4 weeks didn't really count because I wasn't, or I don't really count them because ever since last week I started really actually drawing a lot. Before that, I was doing like maybe half an hour every so often. And yeah, whatever happened, happened. But now I'm putting a lot of time into drawing, or I've been putting a lot of time into drawing this week. Less so towards the end of the week, but I mean, throughout the week, I was putting a lot of time into drawing, practicing, and also making an illustration on the side. So, like doing a manga, a random illustration, a fully fleshed out and rendered illustration that I'm still working on, and also doing like daily practice on some stuff, on stuff that I feel like I'm really struggling with. So for this week, I was doing a lot of gesture drawing because I feel like the character, the way the characters like stand and like how their how their poses feel is a bit like stiff and not really all there. So I felt like I should be practicing a lot more of that, so I did. I also practiced a bit of face drawing, like just drawing faces, and specifically some very specific perspectives that I've been trying to get right while doing my illustration. Haven't been very successful with that, but you know, that's what practice is for, I guess. Some color stuff I've been practicing as well. By the way, if you're interested in my daily practices, I upload all of them as shorts onto my YouTube channel, so you can just look at the shorts in this channel and you'll find everything there. But as for other stuff regarding this week, I think this is the week that I also practiced a lot of hatching and cross hatching as well at the very beginning of the week, at the very start of the week, I mean. And I think I might try to implement those into the manga once I'm like finishing everything up and like I have to do final touches and everything. I think I'll start doing that. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I guess. Yeah. But we'll do that later, not now, obviously. There's a lot of stuff that I still need to do right now with this manga, so I mean, not even close to finishing everything up. But you know, we made some progress. We actually finished two panels. Last week, I think I talked about how I need to avoid getting too bogged down on the very small details. And I think this week, I haven't really implemented this mindset too much. But I will say, for the last day of the week, which is today, to be honest, I'm recording this voiceover on the last day, so it's today. On Saturday, when I was doing some of the final coloring for the environment and the shadows for the environment, I was actually implementing this mindset of just not getting bogged down on minute details. I was kind of very sloppy with all of the details in the background, in the environment, all the small details that you won't really be able to see when you zoom out and you watch the entire page as it is. I think it didn't end up looking amazing in my opinion, but I think it's much better this way rather than just like working on the same panel for an entire week. I feel like an entire week for one panel is just way too much. Obviously, I'm like very early into my journey with drawing, so I'm not expecting to be able to like draw a full manga in a week. That's just, I feel like that's really unrealistic for someone like me. It takes me a long time to get the drawing that I want to down correctly. But I feel like I should very much, or I should probably try to avoid getting too much into like perfectionist mindsets, I guess. I get too bogged down on some details. Sometimes lines are not like incredible, and that's just like I need to accept it and just like move on and not just redraw the same part of the drawing like 10,000 times, and it's still not being perfect at the end of it. So yeah, I need to learn to let go and like move on. Which brings me to another point I wanted to talk about for this week. Something that I've been struggling with in art is the concept of just trusting the process. It feels very unintuitive for me. When I say trusting the process, I don't know if people like call it that, but when I say it, I just mean, you know, drawing a few lines. Like, you know how you can draw like a few lines and they don't really feel correct at all, but then once you complete the entire sequence of lines, it suddenly all clicks together perfectly. I feel like that's what I would call trusting the process, and just like, if I know that this line is objectively in the correct space for what it should represent in the future of the picture, I should just like move on and complete the fucking drawing and then look at it at the end and then change it if I have to. That's what I would call trusting the process. I don't know if that's how it's like referred to in the art community, or if that's even a concept. Maybe I'm just like delusional and I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm very early into this journey, so I might as well just be wrong about it, to be honest. But yeah, this is something that's very unintuitive to me, and it's very difficult for me to do. Like I can't bring myself to easily just like to just like completely ignore when there's like a line that I feel like is not really placed correctly in the drawing. But then more often than not, once I finish the drawing, this line just becomes just perfect, you know, or I mean, not really perfect, but like, you know what I mean, just like very good, or like complementary to the drawing in a way. So yeah, this is the main issue I've been running into this past week, especially with my illustration that I'm making. Yeah, that's just it's just something that I kept running into. Also, in a similar vein, I think looking for logic in this whole process is just something that's not very beneficial, I find. I don't know if that's correct as well, but like, I feel like when I try to do things that would make sense to me in my head, they don't necessarily work. But then when I experiment with random stuff that I just don't feel like should ever work, I feel those sometimes work. And I think that mostly has to do with my ability to understand art, basically. I don't really know how else to put it. Like, I don't think I have a good understanding of what makes a good painting or a good drawing, or yeah, stuff like that, I guess. Again, I don't know if any of that makes sense. I feel like to me it does, obviously, because yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but I don't know if my thoughts are being conveyed correctly here. I'm not very good at that. But yeah, looking for logic in the process of making art sometimes, not always, but sometimes feels a bit, or maybe I shouldn't say that it doesn't make sense, but rather that it makes a different kind of sense that I'm just not entirely privy to, maybe. I really don't know how to like think about this whole thing that I'm like trying to explain. Hopefully everything I'm saying is like making sense to you guys. But either way, I'm fairly happy with the results of the second panel. I think it could look a trillion times better. I think the proportions are all over the place, not correct at all whatsoever. But I'm happy to be done with it. But I'm happy to be done with it either way. So I mean, it's good that I'm done with it. I'm fine with making a lot of mistakes. If I were to like sit here and just fix my characters, it would take me like a year to complete this fucking manga, and I want to complete it. Okay, so I have a goal to make. Let's see. Let me tell you. I wrote it at the beginning of the year, so a lot of it is like sort of evolved and changed. But let's see. So I made a goal, or I wrote down a goal at the beginning of the year to finish at least 3 manga one-shots by the end of the year. Now, mind you, I have a ton of ideas for manga one-shots. This is not even considered a one-shot in my eyes. It's just like a 6-page short comic or something. But yeah, if I can just focus up and like get my process more refined and like more efficient, I guess, then I could definitely clear this goal and make like 3 one-shots by the end of the year. It's gonna be a hell of a task, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it, but I really hope that I can. That would be really satisfying to be able to complete it, I think, because yeah, I'm kind of projecting into the future, because I know how it feels to finish a panel in the manga. So I can only imagine Hergo projecting into the future how it would feel to complete a one-shot, a complete one-shot. And when I say one-shot, I mean like the standard definition, like 16 to 40 pages or whatever it is they're defining it as, not something like 6-page manga. But yeah, either way, enough rambling, I think. If you guys want to see the end result for the second panel, you can just jump to the end of the video. There will be a timestamp. I hope that I remember to put it, but there will be a timestamp in the description, and also there will be a timestamp on the screen if I remember to put it. I should be able to remember that. A timestamp on the screen to tell you where you should go to see the end result for the second panel. But either way, that's gonna be it for this video. Probably not too much interesting stuff has happened, but we made some progress on the manga, which is nice. So I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Obviously, I'll be very happy if you do, but yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm mostly uploading those videos to first document my progress, and then second to slowly but surely build up an audience with the goal of making a manga that will be successful in the future, you know. So at the moment it doesn't matter that much, but you know, every sub counts, so I will be happy either way. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.